Hailie Deegan's transition from NASCAR to Indy NXT has been anything but smooth. Coming from a strong motorsports background as the daughter of motocross legend Brian Deegan, she has faced multiple challenges in her racing career. NASCAR was already a tough road for her, and now stepping into open wheel racing is proving even harder. The shift from stock cars to the high-speed, physically demanding world of Indy NXT is a massive change, and early results suggest she has a long way to go. So will she get an opportunity to prove herself, or has her time already come to an end? Let's find out. Her NASCAR career did not end the way many expected. She joined AM Racing with hopes of making progress, but the season was filled with struggles. Her performance was inconsistent, and she never seemed to find a rhythm. The team made changes, replacing her first crew chief, Joe Williams, with Matt Lucas, but this did not improve her results. In fact, her best performances came under Williams, which raises questions about whether the team itself was part of the problem. Eventually, AM Racing made the tough decision to replace her midway through the 2024 season. Her spot was taken by Joey Logano, a well-established NASCAR champion, making it clear that the team had lost faith in her ability to deliver results. After leaving NASCAR, she was given an opportunity with HMD Motorsports in Indy NXT. This was supposed to be a fresh start, a chance to prove herself in a new type of racing. When she joined, she spoke highly of the team, calling them professional and well-prepared. Some took this as a subtle criticism of AM Racing, suggesting she may not have been happy with how things were run there. However, whether her struggles in NASCAR were due to the team or her own performance, the reality is that she now faces an even bigger challenge. Indy NXT is completely different from NASCAR. The cars are lighter, faster, and require a different set of skills. One of the biggest differences is physical demand. The cars in NASCAR have power steering, making them easier to control over long races. In Indy NXT, there is no power steering, meaning drivers have to use more strength to handle the wheel. And this puts a lot of stress on the arms, shoulders, and hands. Deegan admitted that this was a struggle, saying her hands were so small they felt like they would fall off the wheel. She also mentioned that she had to change her workout routine to build more muscle. Fitness was never a huge factor in her NASCAR career. She has always enjoyed working out, but it was more for general health than for performance. NASCAR is not as physically demanding as open wheel racing, so drivers can get by without being in top physical condition. However, Indy NXT is different. The level of strength and endurance needed is much higher. Deegan has embraced this challenge, saying she enjoys training with a real purpose now, but the question is whether she can catch up fast enough to compete at a high level. Deegan posted a vlog about her Indy NXT debut on YouTube on March 5th. The video showed clips from her qualifying session and how she prepared for her race. After qualifying, she looked at her lap times and realized she needed to improve. She mentioned that she would have an easier time at her second race because she had raced at that track before. The second race of the Indy NXT season will be at Barber Motorsports Park. Her first official practice session in Indy NXT was a tough reality check. She finished in last place, 21st out of 21 drivers. The gap between her and the top drivers was massive. She was 4.75 seconds behind the leader, Dennis Hauer. Now, in racing terms, this is not just a small difference. It's a huge gap. Even compared to the second-to-last driver, Nikita Johnson, she was 2.5 seconds slower. Her top lap time was 1 minute and 9.97 seconds, while Hauer's was 1 minute and 5.22 seconds. Her top speed was also much lower, trailing by 6.7 miles per hour. These numbers show just how far behind she is. The problem is not just speed, but overall racecraft. Indy NXT requires a different driving style. The cars react differently to braking, acceleration, and cornering compared to stock cars. Another concern is confidence. After struggling in NASCAR and now facing difficulties in Indy NXT, she may start to doubt herself. Confidence is a huge factor in racing. A driver who believes in their abilities will push harder and take the necessary risks to be fast. But if doubt creeps in, it can lead to hesitation, which slows a driver down. It is still early in her Indy Next journey, so it's too soon to say whether she will succeed or fail. Some drivers take longer to adjust than others. But what matters is how quickly she can improve. If she continues to struggle at the back of the field for multiple races, it will be a sign that this transition may not work out. But if she can gradually reduce the gap and start competing with the midfield drivers, it will show that she is making progress. Her story is an interesting one because it shows how difficult it is to switch between different forms of racing. Many people assume that if someone is good in one type of car, they will be good in another. But motorsports does not work that way. The skills that make a great race car driver do not always translate to open wheel racing, and Deegan is finding this out firsthand. The next few races will be crucial. If she can make noticeable improvements, it will give her a reason to keep going. But if she remains at the back, the pressure will only increase. For now, she has a lot of work to do. Whether she can rise to the challenge remains to be seen. The St. Petersburg track is a temporary street circuit, which means it is only used for certain events. Since Deegan has never raced there before, she had to learn the track while driving, and this made it harder for her to keep up with the leaders. She admitted that everything still felt fast and she had not yet reached a smooth rhythm. She also mentioned that with more experience, she would feel more comfortable. During the St. Pete weekend, Deegan improved her lap times. In practice, she was multiple seconds slower than the leaders. However, during the actual race, she reduced the gap to just 1 or 2 seconds per lap. She started the race in last place, but kept a steady pace and finished in 14th place. Her teammate, Sophia Flores, who also made her debut, started in 17th place and finished in 12th. After the race, Deegan posted on Instagram, sharing pictures from her debut. She said that she had fun racing on a street course for the first time and was happy her family was there to support her. She also mentioned that she was improving every time she got in the car and planned to keep working hard. Looking ahead to Barber Motorsports Park, Deegan expects a better result. She has raced there before, so she will not have to learn the track from scratch. This will allow her to focus on improving her speed and consistency. She mentioned that everything still feels a bit fast for her, but she is confident that more time in the car will help her find a smooth rhythm. Her main goal for the next race is to complete all the laps again and continue learning. She believes that the more experience she gains, the better she will perform. Deegan understands that Indy Next is very competitive, but she's ready for the challenge. Her first race showed that she could adapt and improve, and she hopes to build on that momentum. Deegan's struggles in NASCAR are well documented. During her time in the NASCAR Xfinity Series with AM Racing in 2023, she consistently finished in the low 20s or high 30s. Despite entering with high hopes, she never secured a single victory throughout the season. And now, history seems to be repeating itself in Indy Next. Her struggles in stock cars and now in open wheel racing suggest that the challenges may be more about her driving ability rather than just external factors. Deegan has openly admitted that the transition is extremely difficult. She acknowledged that moving from stock cars to open wheel racing is not common, especially on a full-time basis. Even legendary NASCAR driver Jimmy Johnson faced similar difficulties when he attempted to switch to IndyCar. The two types of cars require different skill sets, and the adjustment period can be brutal. Stock cars have power steering, making it easier to react quickly, while open-wheel cars require more physical effort to control. Acceleration, braking points, and steering feel completely different. The track at St. Petersburg made things even harder for Deegan. Street courses are known for being tricky, especially for drivers who have never raced on them. Unlike traditional racetracks, street courses have tight turns, uneven surfaces, and very little room for error. Now, before you leave, just don't forget to give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and also ring that notification bell for more upcoming uploads.